So even if you're not interested in the topic, you'd be surprised how integrated that knowing more about the difference between interpreting and and also transcription, the difference between those services. So you're definitely going to enjoy the conversation. So let me know what part of the world you guys are watching us from. If you're watching me from Atlanta, Georgia, New York City, and you guys know my favorite part, which is called Bangladesh. So let me know. Also, if you're watching a live, let me know and click on the link. Let me know. Oh, not you're already there. You can click on the link. Let me know if you're watching me live or watching a replay. Definitely want you guys to be involved in that as well. And be sure to share the stream with your friends and family about this discussion. If you manage to join the panel, definitely want you to share the live with your crew as well. And don't be shy. Click on the link and you can actually start joining in a conversation in the chat. That's where the meat and potatoes of the show is located. And then lastly, when you hear something that you like, show your expressions, click that reaction button. So definitely let us know as well. And as I said before, this is Cocktails with Chello, episode 21. So it's 1, 2, there you go. See, I got it down packed. So thank you very much for joining us. Before we move forward, I want to let you know that all opinions are solely my own and do not express the opinions of the company that I work for. The reason why I say that is because I work for the second largest recycling and waste company in the nation. So if we haven't met before, hey, my name is Marcello Arcele. Thank you very much for joining us today. I provide recycling and waste services for a company right here in Metro Atlanta. So if you know someone that needs my help, have them give me a call at 678-683-9136, or just have them reach out to me here on LinkedIn. So thank you very much. Before we move forward, I definitely want to let you know that our show is being brought to you by Restream. That's Restream.io. Definitely be sure to follow them on Twitter. Now, I wouldn't be able to do this without Restream. I'll let you know, it's so easy. You can connect to over 30 live streaming platforms. Super, super, super easy. So you have a free platform, but if you choose to increase your game, customize your setup, and even potentially go in directions like you can actually upload your logo like you see there, then you need to go the pro option. And if you do that, click on the link in the description and you'll get a credit towards signing up, and you show your support for Cocktails with Chello. So we appreciate that. Now, in the meantime, let me show you a brief video. It's about 15 seconds that gives you a description of how easy Restream is to use. So let me go to the videotape. Easy breezy. So think about it. When anytime I say easy breezy, I can't finish it. I cannot help to finish it with say cover girl. I'm sure you guys, even though it's kind of corny for a guy to say that, like easy breezy cover girl, you're so used to hearing that. So that's why I say it. It's kind of kooky, but I digress. All right, so guys, let me start bringing in the folks that we have on the panel today, and also along with our special guests. So we got our steady, ready Eddie right here, Chris, the business concierge, Rouse. What's going on?
Children's going crazy. That's what's going on.
Welcome. We got the love doctor. Listen, he don't know what I'm going to call him from week to week, but today he's going to be Dr. Love. So we got Dr. Love in the house. Welcome, sir.
Hey, hi, Marcello. Hi, Chris.
Hey, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate that. And we got a newbie from Cocktails with Chello. We're gonna take it easy, mind you, but he's already been on our stream before because we're talking about a new show that we're collaborating on. We had the beta. We just gotta coach him till we actually get him so we can actually start doing the show. So we got my dude Reggie Waterman from the North. What's going on, sir?
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Yeah, man. Thank you very much for joining us, man. Awesome. Now the show would not be complete without our special guest. And I'm not gonna do any justice. I'm gonna tell you, this is the this is the queen when it pertains to knowing the difference between translating and also interpreting service. So I'm not gonna, even try to even give her a moniker. I got my lady in the house here. How are we doing? Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, I love your name, and my first name is Helge, and my middle name is Marcello, but I don't want to. I know I always call you Ms. Myers. So, won't you tell us about pronounce your name and also share folks why they should connect with you here on LinkedIn.
Thanks, Marcello, first of all, for the invitation, and good evening again, everyone. So I'm going to pronounce my name for you, Marcello, so you don't call me Miss Myers anymore.
Thank you.
Jenica. That's easy enough,
Thank
right?
you.
Or Jen for sure.
Okay.
Right, good. So, yeah, thanks again for the opportunity. And we chatted before in preparing for this. I really feel passionate about explaining the difference between translation and interpreting, because often people, lump the two together and use the terms, just any which way. But there is actually a difference. So translators translate documents, basically, whether it's printed documents or audiovisual documents like presentations, or it could be even, films doing subtitling, for example. That's translation work, where you're taking some sort of text input and you're rendering it into a different language, but you're giving your output as text. Whereas interpreting, it's the art that's practiced by interpreters, and it's verbal, it's vocal. So you're hearing one language, you're doing some mental gymnastics up there, and then you're putting out via your voice what is said in it. Actually, that's the translator's job and the interpreter's job. And in the profession, you have persons who practice one or the other of those skills, but you also have people who are, I'd say, ambidextrous, who are equally comfortable translating documents as they are going live with their voice. I'm one of those people. I am passionate about both of them, but it's not always the case. Notwithstanding, these are two distinct fields. Yes, they both deal with languages and foreign languages, but it's practiced differently, to sum it up.
Okay. So, given that we jump right into the topic, I want to be respectful of your time. Did you had a hard stop? And just in case, if you did, let me know. Then I could.
I'm here till you serve the pina colada.
Okay, there we go. So perfect. I like that. So now talking about drinks, it doesn't make a difference what you drink. You could be drinking water or anything. I'll let you know what I'm drinking today. I'm drinking this thing called Uncle Mayor's or Uncle
Jenica's from Barbados.
Yeah. So this is what I'm drinking. This is an original whiskey, and the story goes that the person that made this was the gentleman that actually created the Jack Daniel recipe. So if anybody knows anything about whiskey, could definitely chime in the chat. So I see my dude Chris is drinking something. What is in your mug?
Coffee.
Okay. See, so you got the wrong show. This is not Coffee with Chello, but that's fine. Don't worry. What's going on? Dr. Love, what you drinking?
Well, remember the first conversation, the first cocktails with Chello session I had? You
was drinking water then.
Yeah, and you mentioned the best. So it's 5 a.m. over here. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the best morning drink, apple cider vinegar, mm-hmm. and a splash of honey with it.
Oh. I had that committed to lose some weight, so I as a part of my ritual every single day. So then in the evening, I throw it all out the window and drink whiskey. So, you see I'm going in the right direction. So, perfect. So Reggie, what you drinking in your world?
Because I knew a fellow Bayesian was going to be on here, I'm drinking Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Banks beer.
Can I just stick in here, Reggie? I'm tuning in from Barbados, but I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. So let me get myself a carrot.
See, now you got the islands all mixed up. Everyone's confused. I'm confused.
It's a Caribbean family. Barbados.
So because you're from Trinidad, then I gotta say Carib. Then I'm drinking
It's
Carib.
okay. You can drink your pants. All right. It's one big happy family. No problem.
Cool.
I love it. Now, before we get into the discussion, I'm curious to know if anybody has some insight of translation. And mind you, I know that we also have Dr. Love, and we typically start the show with Dr. Love, so we'll have an opportunity to have him share his insights of his weekly show. But before we get into that, I'm curious to know if anyone has any insights or any experience with translation or interpreting services, or if you ever been in a scenario that you say, hey, can you translate Trinidad and Tobago for me? You know, I wasn't sure, so let me know.
I once had to count change in French.
You did?
Yep, that was about it. I once had to count change in French. She was from
What about
Canada
you,
and
Reggie?
couldn't count American money.
What about you, Reggie?
No.
Anything?
In terms of translation, I get lost in translation a lot of times, but you know, everything is a matter of interpretation. But yeah, that's the way I put it.
Well said. Now, the only thing that stands out for me is this is the craziest thing. So I'm at a customer site a couple of days ago. Yeah, it was Tuesday. And this is a new ramen shop that is opening up here in Metro Atlanta, more specifically in Kennesaw, Georgia. So I walk in. No, I'm actually hanging out in the wing, and I visited this location several times. And every time I visit, no one's there. But I know that they're going to be opening up because a little birdie went like this in my ear. So that's why I visit occasionally so I can meet with the decision maker. So I'm hanging out, and guess what? They open the door, and I'm like, oh, okay. This guy has a Hermes belt. He must be the decision maker. All right, let me pull up to this dude. I start talking to him, and he looks at me like, huh? I asked him, do you speak Chinese, Japanese, Korean? What language do you speak? He said, oh, Chinese. I pull out my cell phone. I went to Google Translate. I said what I wanted to say in English and pushed the button, and I held up the phone. The guy understood everything I obviously because I translated it for him. However, next thing you know, once he warmed up to me, then he started talking to me in his broken English. So it was then we understood ourselves. I didn't need to use my phone anymore. But it was interesting. He never met me, and he was going to use his inability to speak English well as a way to stay away. But I'm like, oh no, buddy, we're going to talk. And oh, okay, yeah, I actually do need your help. So yeah. So now, Dr. Love, have you ever experienced a scenario that you have to translate something, or interpret something?
Well, I come from India, a country with over 19,000 languages, halfway across. So yes, it's an interesting experience. See, I'm bilingual. I know two languages, which I almost natively speak. So English and Hindi.
Okay.
Apart from that, any other language, it's a bit difficult. I'm still learning 3 or 4 languages so I can understand them partly. But yes.
Okay.
So,
Let's not forget your third language, which is love.
Oh, look at that. You nailed it. I like, you know what, that I should have been, this is why I got Reggie on the show. He's quick with it. So I appreciate that. Now before we go into the topic, I want to look at the chat. We have some folks already tuned in. We got my dude named Martin. He's supposed to be joining the chat, but something came up, either an interpreter or a translation gig, something like that. Or maybe he got nervous once he realized that Jen was that. And listen, once we got Roslyn is in the house. Thank you very much for us again. My guy Martin giving the claps, not the singular, but the multiples. We got my dude now, Loves, and that wraps up the discussion. Now, we also, Dr. Love put a link to his podcast, so be sure to subscribe and tune into his show. Now, before you go into your topic, Dr. Love, what was this week's show about?
Well, earlier I plan on bringing out the topic of how globalization and internet is impacting relationships. But recently, there's one more topic that I'm, growing curious about. It's dealing from past pain and getting into a new relationship with it. So, can I take a quick vote from you guys on which one to choose this in this show?
So I would think that past pain will be one that I vote for. What would you guys vote for, guys?
I agree with you. Past pain for sure.
Okay. And what about past you? Pain? Past pain? Okay. It's unanimous. So past pains it is, Dr. Love. Go right ahead.
Past pain. So it's a situation when you hurt from your past relationship, the guy or the girl, and now you are with or a girl. So from my perspective, let's assume I had a bad relationship, I got hurt. Now I'm scared it might repeat. You found a girl, I found a girl out there, right? She also got hurt from her ex, and now we both are together. We both like each other. What's going on? We both we both are attracted towards each other, but no, what if he does the same thing, or what if she does the same thing, leave me hurting? The best way to do, talk about it. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage, bringing out your insecurities. But
okay, I guess what you're saying that sometimes being vulnerable, regardless if it's professional or personal, it takes a lot of courage. And I agree. I think about like what we're doing right now. This takes a lot of courage. And I say that because, mind you, it might seem like it's easy for me, but I've been speaking to random individuals on a daily basis for over 25 years. So it comes a little bit easy for me because I have no problem with someone telling me, get out of my face. Goodbye. Get out of here. Get out of here. You chump, you punk, get out of here. I don't mind being shut down. It's okay. It is what it is. But what it is that when you connect with someone on a personal or professional level, that just warms my heart. I love it. Because at the end of the day, I want to help. So now, what can you explain a little bit more your point of view about past pains and what's your recommendation on the topic?
Yeah. So the first thing you have to understand is why that pain exists, because it was somewhere deep and you guarded it. All right. So since you guarded it, you could not let it heal. Now, when you are with this person, you are feeling so attracted towards, you feel that this can be something really good. Share your insecurities. You know what will happen? There are two things that can happen. Either they'll accept it or they will not. It's binary. Either they will accept it or they will not. And you know it. So if they accept it, you know that they accept you and they probably will not do it to you. If they don't accept it, you got saved early. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and the thing about healing, just as you mentioned, Marcelo, when you warm up with someone, you lower your guard. So what happened in your sales process is you got so used to getting shunned by some clients that, okay, it's nothing new. But when you are with someone in, where your emotions are involved, where you are close to a level that you can, let's say, communicate through gaze itself, communicate through eyes. And when that person hurts you, it damages, it takes away a part of you.
Well, let me ask you this now. Do you have, you already focus on the sad part, obviously. Now, I'm kind of corny. I like a Hollywood ending, and I like, when you feel so good and happy that birds start just chirping all around, and you're just like, oh, you start feeling so good. So what's the positive of, past pains? Like, how can we focus on how to use that experience of past pains to ensure we have happiness in the future?
So that
or butterflies, not. I stand corrected, Mr. Chris Rouse. Go ahead, continue, Dr. Love.
Yeah. So the way I see pain and hurt is, it's when someone hurts you. Mm-hmm. It's not that person hurting, it's that person exposing your vulnerability. Mm-hmm. That this is where you are vulnerable at, and this is where you can get hurt at. So, with time, when you heal that vulnerability, you build yourself towards happiness. Next time, you won't get hurt, you won't get the pain because you have healed that vulnerability. It's something you see in testing or cyber penetration commonly.
Because they use social engineering.
Yeah, it's a vulnerability. Humans, when you fix vulnerabilities, it gets more secure. It gets a happier place to be. You feel secure. And when you secure in yourself, that is when you'll be happy because you do not fear anything. Like you get the part, security and fear. So either you are secure or you are afraid.
Mm-hmm. You see what Martin said? He says that he don't want a Hollywood ending. He wants a Bollywood ending. This guy is a fool. He's saying that. I can't take it. Martin, stop BSing in the comments once you join the panel.
Hey, Bollywood is Hollywood of India.
Yeah, exactly. And look what Rosalind said. Rosalind gave some good advice. And mind you, Rosalind, do me a huge favor. Put a link to what you're promoting. I know you was on Linked Lunch earlier today. This is Linked Lunch After Dark, essentially, because this is originally was a networking event. So please feel free to post a link to the post and also a link to what you're promoting. And everyone that's watching this live, please put a link to what you're promoting. This is an opportunity to network and connect with other people. So now let's take a look here. So now on a wrap-up note, let me ask you this, Dr. Love. What is next week's topic that you're thinking about tackling on your podcast?
So there are two topics now. The one which I planned for this week, impact of social media and internet on relationships. And then there's the topic of how to allow yourself to be vulnerable.
Oh, that's a loaded question right there. Because I don't know how, I mean, either you do or you don't. And then if you had past pains, then you're going to hold back and you're going to be guarded. So that's going to be pretty challenging. So I'm definitely looking forward to learning your insights and what you're going to share on that topic. Because regardless if you had past pains or not, vulnerability is a key factor for growth, personally and professionally, because you have to let people in. That's the only way that you could grow. Or better yet, think about this, right? You're thinking, okay, vulnerability, you're talking about being, you're talking about personally and like relationships. But no, being vulnerable, you can still do that with your colleagues at work. Because when someone offers their advice, you have to be vulnerable to allow to accept that advice and to collaborate. But if you don't allow yourself to be guarded, and you're not accept constructive criticism. So being vulnerable applies professionally and personally. So let me bring back the panel and get folks opinions of what we discussed thus far. So